Hi, my name is Lilia, and 10 years ago I got really sick, and I'm here to do a little update video. It's basically 2014 in February. I was on stage at a dance competition and an award ceremony. All of a sudden started feeling awful, just genuinely awful. There's really no other way to describe it. I felt like I was hit by a train, like it just was really awful. And then it never went away. And so we went to the doctor. And then, kept going to the doctor because we did a bazillion blood tests and it was all, inconclusive. There was nothing wrong. Like, it's showing fine kind of thing. And so then, we kept going to different doctors, kind of figuring out until finally we were able to see a specialist who sat and talked with us for several hours and determined that I have fibromyalgia and that I had some kind of orthostatic intolerance. So yeah, that was an answer to what was happening and explained, what that was, what it meant, all that kind of stuff. But because I was 13 at the time, there was nothing medically that he could really do. He could not prescribe me any medications because there was no medications that was approved for a 13-year-old. So basically it was just like, here's a diagnosis, go back to your doctor, try, Googling online and, figuring out other things to do, possibly, like, because there's nothing that I can do, really. So I'm very grateful for that, which, sounds really weird, but I don't want to be on those medications because, honestly, they're terrifying to me. Like, all the side effects and all the horror stories, and they don't really do much either. So, yeah, I am very grateful for that. It was very terrifying at the time to be like, there's nothing you can do. That's scary. But then doing a bunch of research, and finding stuff that worked helped me feel better. But yeah, so that was an interesting time. I basically went back home and we researched and I kept trying new things. My diet was already like really healthy. I already figured out that I was allergic to gluten and dairy and, cutting that out and everything. And then, trying to stay, like, exercise, but also couldn't really do much. So basically I did like homeschool, but not homeschool, like a home hospital situation for a while for school until September. I tried to go back to school and it was kind of a nightmare. I was really only in school for 2 periods a day, one of those periods being TAing, so like a teacher assistant, and she was literally just like, you can just sit here because I just need someplace to go. I had to be at least 2 periods, so I just need somewhere to be. So I would literally just sit there and then went to math class, and then once a week would meet with my homeschool teacher and take like quizzes, tests, and go over like the packet for the week, and then would go home. So that was my day. Like, my school day was basically started at like 8 o'clock, ended at like 10 o'clock. Like, it wasn't anything crazy. Sometimes like 11 if I had my meeting. So yeah, I wasn't able to handle that. That was too much. It was too exhausting. I also wasn't able to get some stuff that I needed in order to be successful in school. So it just made it even harder. And eventually I found the Guaifenesin Protocol, and anybody who's researched it knows that you do tend to get a little worse. You don't feel as well when it first starts out. And I was like, already I'm not doing great. I am feeling awful. I'm not doing well in school. We need to figure something out. So I started the Guaifenesin Protocol on December 18th, 2014. And that same day also dropped out of middle school, kind of. I dropped out of the public middle school system and went to a online, like, fully like homeschool kind of thing that my mom helped set up and everything. So I finished 8th grade that way. And then within, let's see, so I started December. So December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So 9 months later, I was back at school. I started back that next August, my freshman year of high school. I spent basically those 9 months reading textbooks and sitting outside in the sun for 15 to 20 minutes a day. And then during the summer, I was able to go out in the world a little bit more, but wasn't really able to do anything. I was mostly just, healing, and then started my freshman year with basically the same thing that I had prior, but I had 2 actual classes. I was taking Spanish and dance, and then everything else through like a homeschool kind of thing, but it's not homeschool at that point. When you get to high school, it's like an independent study school thing. So I had like a main teacher and then a math teacher, and the math teacher I saw twice a week. The main teacher I saw once a week. And I did that for freshman year, sophomore year. And I was slowly getting better, slowly, on the protocol getting better. It was like really hard at first, to figure everything out, but, at that point it got really easy, got dialed in, it was normal. And then junior year, I actually took an extra class, so I took 7 classes total. I took 3 at like the main high school, and then 4 at the other school, the independent school, and it was a lot. It was a very hard year also because I was going through other health stuff. I was having chronic migraines. I pretty much had a migraine like every day that school year, so that was not fun, but we got through it. I finished, and I was taking an AP psychology class, and I actually got a 3 on the AP test, which I passed, which I didn't think I was going to because I had felt so awful and missed quite a bit of school. And then also, I remember like I had a really bad migraine that day, I think because of the test, and I remember afterwards sitting and looking forward at the whiteboard, and the whiteboard started going like, whoo, like moving, and I was just like, oh, this is fun, because it happens with migraines, things will move and look weird. So that was an experience of my junior year. But then my senior year, I was able to go back full-time, and I had enough credits to where I only needed to do 4 classes a day instead of 6. So I started 2nd period, ended 5th period. So I got to start late, end early kind of thing, which was really nice. And yeah, I did it. I finished high school. I graduated, which like when I first started the protocol and like, dropping out of school, I did not think I was going to be graduating high school. I didn't think, I was really going to get there. I thought there was going to be some different alternatives, because there's alternatives, and I thought I was going to have to take that road. But I did not, which was kind of crazy, and I graduated with my class. And yeah, and then, so I graduated 2019, and then started at a community college, and then the pandemic happened, so we were all online, and supposed to be my last spring semester, I like got a concussion and ended up not able to do online school because it was a very bad concussion, and you can't do online things with a concussion. You're not supposed to, at least. And it was my 2nd concussion, so I was really not doing well. Also, I was doing physical therapy and all that, and it really helped. So I basically only took a public speaking class, and was just, I told her the situation. She was very accommodating, and at the beginning I wasn't really able to do as much online, which she was okay with. We found alternatives, and it worked out. So I was at least able to get like 1 class done, and then instead of just taking, an extra semester to finish up those classes and then like start my a 4-year in the like spring, I decided to do a whole year for the semester and then work part-time. So I did that, and then graduated from my community college in 2022, and then started at a 4-year, and that was an amazing experience. I loved my 4-year experience. I was there for 2 years to finish my bachelor's in psychology, and it was a mile from the beach. I love the beach. I'm a huge beach person, and I'm very much missing it right now because it doesn't really get as cold as it does here, and it's very humid, and I'm just very much missing that. So yeah, it's my first, right now I'm getting used to not having all that weather. So spent 2 years there and graduated on time with my bachelor's, which is just still crazy to think. And yeah, once again, I was still doing great health-wise, still on the protocol, still figuring stuff out. I did have my orthostatic intolerance pop up after getting the flu Took me a bit to realize what it was because I never really had that issue. Like, it was something that was just, you know, like really low. It wasn't really something that I experienced, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoo, hi, I exist. So that was an experience. Still is an experience. Still trying to get that all figured out because getting medical care is not necessarily easy where I live, and then also it's just very anxiety filled for me because of my experience. So that is also still something that's in progress. But yeah, getting the flu 2 winters in a row, and then I got COVID for the first time this summer. It was a lot. My body's kind of starting to finally get back on track. But it definitely made my orthostatic intolerance very bad, and I'm feeling like it's kind of in that subdivision of like, it's like an umbrella term. I have a feeling it's more POTS kind of thing. So I've been doing different things with that to help, and it's been helping, but it's still, I'm not where I was before I got sick and everything with that. Like, it amped up a bit, but the protocol, like, my fibro is doing great. Like, it's night and day difference. So yeah, I graduated, and that was an exciting thing. And then just started my master's for school psychology this fall, and it's an online program, so I am at home because it is cheaper, and I already have a lot of like connections in the area, and like this is kind of where I wanted to be for it. So I'm here figuring that out and doing that. I just finished my first semester. It's very intense at the end, and it's about to get a bit crazier, so trying to figure out that planning wise, you know, taking care of myself kind of thing, making sure that I'm staying as healthy as I can, and then also starting to feel better. So like, you know, starting to be able to do more. And so from getting, like, my body's finally healing. It takes me a while to heal from stuff still. My immune system still, you know, when I get really sick with the flu, like almost ended up in the hospital. And then with COVID, I did have to go to the hospital because I had concerning symptoms. We wanted to make sure it wasn't something really bad. So getting that sick, it takes my body a while to heal. I am healing a lot faster, but it does take a bit to heal. But I'm getting there. I'm starting to feel the fatigue is a little bit less. The fatigue was like one of the craziest symptoms that I had. I was just dead. I have trouble sleeping. I slept for like a day straight. Like, it was insane. And so now here we are, 10 years. It's just kind of crazy to think about 10 years ago me, and like how I was like, no clue what I was gonna do with my life, no clue if I was ever gonna be able to get off the couch and live, and now here I am living. So yeah, I did try to do a whole 10-day thing, but I got a bit overwhelmed because I haven't really made videos much in a while, and so I only did 5, but I still am very proud of it, and I'm enjoying it, and I want to keep, you know, the reason I made this channel was to document life and my growth and all that. So I want to keep doing that, and then, you know, add in the stuff that I'm now able to do. And yeah, one of the biggest things has been reading. I didn't, like, when I first got sick, I couldn't really read a lot, and that was something I did a lot when I was younger. Was I was a huge reader, and now I have the mental energy and less brain fog fatigue that I'm reading a ton. I've read 140 something books this year. That's a lot. And every year I read more, and so I feel like also, like, the year prior, like 130 something. So it's like each year gets better, and I feel like that's also a thing of like, mentally I'm able to do more because I'm still doing like my schoolwork and then working over the summer, but also still able to have the mental energy to do all that. So I feel like that's really huge too, and really showing. But yeah, I really don't have that much pain anymore. If I do have pain, it's something else, or it's like super super cold and it's making me that'll kind of flare it up a little bit sometimes, because mainly my body has trouble keeping myself warm because of autonomic nervous dysregulation stuff from the orthostatic intolerance kind of thing. And so that is fun. Not really, that's sarcasm. I realize I say that a lot in real life, and that might not convey as sarcasm, but that was sarcastic. So yeah, doing great. Other than that, I'm just, you know, living life, trying to get through my master's, which is a very intense thing. And then my main thing is because it's an online program at this point, I'm just trying to find ways to also get out of the house and do that because it's all online. So I'm just basically at home on my computer all day doing that. So finding little ways to get out of the house that's not too much, that's not too exhausting, not a lot of money kind of thing, you know. I'm not like driving super far to go places because that's money and time exhaustion. So yeah, figuring that out. I think next year I had one of my last classes, I think I talked about it in a previous video, but like she's like, I have like 5 planners that I use to keep track of everything, and I did that during grad school too. And I was like, okay, I do well with that, so I'm going to do that. And I literally went out and bought a planner. So I have a planner, I have a notebook I'm gonna write a bunch in, and I have an online calendar and like Google Doc that I keep track of everything in. So that's my plan for this next year. The next year is gonna be intense. Next semester I start more classes, and then during the summer, luckily I only have 1 class, but I am also working during the summer, so figure that out. And then also just, you know, having a summer, getting to see family and stuff like that, which is going to be exciting, and trying to figure that out and everything. So it's going to be like life, and I'm excited, but also very intense because school. And then the next fall I start my practicum hours, so yeah, that'll be also intense because that adds on another layer to grad school and another thing to plan and, you know, take account of. So I'm trying to get a routine down at this point, and I'm spending break to get life organized and routine organized so that then I can go into the next year just on top of everything and feeling good and keeping my body healthy as I can. So yeah, but that's my little 10-year update. Kind of crazy. Yeah, and we still got Chugs. She's taking a nap. The little napping puppo. She's still here. Still a huge cuddle bug. She's missing the warmth as well from living so close to the beach and all of the people. But we're here, we're happy, and she's sleepy. So yeah, that's my little update. I'm gonna try and make more videos more often. They probably will not all be protocol related, or illness related, but I'm living life and having fun, so yeah. Anyway, I hope this provides some kind of hope, because I know for me at the beginning it was very terrifying and just like, is this actually gonna work? Am I actually gonna get to live life? And it did, and here I am. So yeah, wishing everybody the best, and I will see you whenever I decide to make a video next.